just seems like a pair of absolute weapons-grade narcissists.
When two of Hollywood's most charismatic stars become the focus of a boiling controversy, it's no surprise that the entire internet sits up to watch the fallout. The discussions around Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are teeming with allegations about manufactured scandals, manipulated text messages, and fierce legal battles. Even more astonishing is the way Piers Morgan has swooped into the fray, waving what he calls irrefutable proof that could upend everything we thought we knew about this high-profile couple. Although no one can confirm precisely what he's got, the rumor mill insists it involves a scandal so vast it might even rock Marvel's future plans.
As for the drama between them, like, if what he's alleging is true, she sounds like an absolute nightmare.
The first red flags reportedly surfaced during the production of a film that Blake was only meant to star in. Early testimonies claim she tried to override standard processes and gain total control over decisions like wardrobe, script rewrites, and promotional strategies. The friction between her and the film's director escalated when she allegedly started invoking Ryan Reynolds' name to apply pressure. Observers said she seemed confident that her husband's star power and influence would make everyone bend to her will. While it's not unheard of for big names to have input, the level of authority Blake is said to have demanded set off alarm bells among those who believed she was overstepping.
I went through the 160-page timeline and evidence document that Justin published on his website in detail, as well as what he presented to the court, because it was fascinating.
It was.
It wasn't long before talk of mysterious meetings and potential bribery started circulating. Whispers suggested Blake was so determined to secure her vision that she might have looked for ways to influence influential executives behind closed doors. According to speculative sources, these covert tactics could have involved promises of publicity, strategic alliances, or even financial incentives. Whether any of this can be proven is unclear, but the mere suggestion of such behavior has kept the tabloids and social media buzzing nonstop. People can't resist a good story of hidden deals and secret alliances, especially when it involves a star who seems so wholesome on the surface.
Lively dropped a lawsuit with all his texts, cherry-picked those texts, removed emojis and intent and backstory to these texts.
Literally outright deleted certain sections of the text.
Then came the infamous text messages, which threw fuel on an already flickering fire. At first, the leaks presented Blake and Ryan as victims of an unreasonable director who wouldn't let them have any creative say. But as more texts were unearthed, it became clear that certain parts of the conversation had been removed, altering the true tone. A message that seemed aggressive in isolation looked far less threatening when viewed in its entirety. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. Was Blake really the victim, or had she orchestrated a PR move by releasing only fragments of chats that cast her in a sympathetic light? Viewers and industry insiders alike began to suspect that the couple's version of events was too convenient to be the full truth.
And I think Team Justin, which, same PR rep who repped Johnny, who was behind this, Blake sort of saw that as, oh, you're trying to use an Amber Heard tactic, but she didn't even realize that's not a good defense.
That's when Piers Morgan entered center stage. He's known for targeting big names, especially if he suspects hypocrisy or manipulation. Reports suggest he has correspondences that directly contradict Blake's official story. While he hasn't disclosed everything in one go, the rumor is that he's building momentum for an explosive expose that could leave both Blake and Ryan struggling to salvage their reputations. If he does have those receipts, and if they genuinely show blatant deception, this controversy may evolve from a mere Hollywood spat into a catastrophic scandal that tarnishes the couple's careers for years to come.
None of this was ever about making a good film. It was about power. It was about power, and now that power is back, fine.
One reason this entire ordeal is gaining so much traction is the parallel many people draw to the Amber Heard saga. Back then, the world watched as new evidence upended public opinion overnight, shining a harsh light on how easily narratives can be manipulated. Now, as more suspicious text messages and contradictory statements appear in the Lively Reynolds situation, it reminds people of the complexities and pitfalls of celebrity lawsuits. Blake and Ryan are being accused of presenting half-truths to the public, just as Amber Heard was criticized for selectively sharing evidence. Whether the parallels are fair or overblown, the comparison has undeniably heightened curiosity.
Try to play it out in the public. That didn't work. They don't want Justin playing it out in the public.
In the midst of this turmoil, several Hollywood insiders have reportedly distanced themselves from Blake and Ryan, either out of concern or simply to avoid getting dragged into a battle that could tarnish their own brand. Names that once proudly associated with the couple have stayed silent. Taylor Swift, a longtime friend of Blake, seems to be minding her own business, possibly reluctant to be seen as picking sides in an escalating war of lawsuits. People are scrutinizing every social media post, every public appearance, to see who is standing with them and who is giving them a wide berth. Public perception in Hollywood can flip in a heartbeat, especially when legal documents and contradictory tweets enter the conversation.
The modern phenomenon of publicists through useful journalists using digital outlets and social media and stuff.
A second bombshell emerged with news that Justin Baldoni, deeply involved in the project's creation, has filed or is on the verge of filing a colossal countersuit. The rumored amount is so large that it borders on unbelievable, hundreds of millions of dollars. If proven, it would be a direct claim that Blake and Ryan's alleged smear campaign caused massive financial harm, sabotaging future deals and collaborations that Justin hoped to secure. While lawsuits often involve inflated numbers to ensure a strong starting point for negotiation, even the possibility of such a sum underscores the serious nature of the accusations. If the court decides that Blake's alleged manipulations were malicious, the financial repercussions for the lively Reynolds household could be mind-boggling.
I can imagine how many people in the past have been victim to the kind of stunts that Blake Lively and her husband have pulled.
It's hard to ignore the role Ryan Reynolds is playing. Many fans are baffled at how a man known for his lighthearted humor and on-screen charm could plunge into a situation this dark. Some propose that he's simply backing his wife, believing her to be the victim of a flawed system. Others wonder if he's being pressured behind the scenes. Leaked screenshots purportedly show him praising the same director he later condemned, leading people to speculate that Ryan's loyalty might be more about preserving marital harmony than about what actually happened. In a town like Hollywood, where even the slightest hint of betrayal can damage careers, it's plausible he chose to align himself with Blake for reasons that are more personal than professional.
Well, you say we haven't seen it before, but we kind of have with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Piers Morgan, meanwhile, thrives on high-stakes drama. He's made a career out of challenging big personalities, especially when he sets a double standard. He's already questioned why Blake, once regarded as a sweet, down-to-earth star, would engage in tactics that seem manipulative. From Piers's perspective, if you're in the right, you shouldn't need to selectively edit messages or rely on rumor-based narratives. The tension between him and Blake has amped up public interest. People can't turn away from the spectacle of a popular TV figure tangling with a celebrity couple revered by fans worldwide. The spotlight has never been hotter.
The judge is trying to reprimand Justin for dropping receipts, and I'm just sitting there like, how is this allowed?
This has all spilled beyond the confines of Hollywood's rumor mill, pulling in average movie fans who are now following every twist and turn. Many feel disillusioned to see a once beloved couple associated with dark allegations of control and deception. A certain section of the fan base insists it's all been blown out of proportion, that Blake and Ryan are the real victims who've been cornered into defending themselves. But each new revelation, whether it's a leaked email, a cryptic tweet, or another rumored bribe, complicates the narrative. It leaves even casual onlookers asking, what exactly is the truth here?
Of all of this, she decided to promote a film about domestic violence by flogging her alcohol brand.
Hollywood thrives on image management, and once that image fractures, it's difficult to rebuild. The once perfect perception of Blake and Ryan as a dynamic duo with comedic banter and philanthropic endeavors is under serious strain. Future casting directors and studios might think twice before handing them major roles if they believe the duo is radioactive with scandal. Sometimes controversies fade if they're minor, or if a bigger scandal overshadows them, but the persistent nature of these rumors suggests that a quick fix seems unlikely. This might be the sort of fiasco that lingers in headlines and tabloids for a very long time.
What did Ryan Reynolds have to do with this film that Justin Baldoni's production team bought in the first place?
Some wonder if we'll see a public mea culpa from the couple. In high-stakes disputes, celebrities occasionally address the rumors head-on in a heartfelt interview or social media post. Yet in this case, the leaks keep contradicting whatever official statements surface. If Blake steps forward to say she acted in good faith, skeptics will likely reference the conflicting text messages. If Ryan claims they were defending themselves against an aggressive director, critics will highlight the initial friendly exchanges he shared with that very person. Without concrete evidence to clarify the situation, each statement they make could trigger another round of relentless online analysis.
I just think we should point out that a lot of celebrities are annoying. Like a lot of celebrities do promo products when they're promoting a film. That is quite normal in Hollywood culture.
The Marvel angle hovers like an ominous cloud. Ryan is closely associated with a certain beloved Marvel character, leading fans to wonder if the alleged power grabs were an attempt to secure more creative control or bigger opportunities within that massive cinematic universe. If a legal battle paints him as a manipulator, it might damage not just his reputation, but also Marvel's brand. Big franchises crave stars with global appeal and minimal controversies. The last thing Marvel needs is a headline scandal where one of its prominent faces is portrayed as secretly pulling strings behind the scenes.
She could have pulled out of the film and retained her $400 million fortune that she has with her husband.
A major sticking point in the ongoing gossip is the claim that Blake tried to frame her lawsuit as a stand for women's rights and empowerment, yet contradictory examples keep popping up that suggest her intentions might have been more about personal advantage than a genuine cause. Female colleagues cited in her accusations either denied any wrongdoing by the director or expressed positive experiences working on the same projects. That glaring mismatch between Blake's portrayal and the statements from other actresses fueled comparisons to Amber Heard's widely scrutinized approach. It's a cautionary tale about weaponizing serious issues for potential personal gain.
I truly don't think they realize how reviled they are.
Some who've tracked the story from the start believe it's only going to get uglier. They point to the possibility of more legal demands that could force even more private communications to be made public. If that happens, Ryan Reynolds' emails, Blake Lively's personal messages, and perhaps even correspondences with fellow celebrities could flood the internet. Piers Morgan would undoubtedly pounce, dissecting every detail for his audience. The embarrassment factor alone might be enough motivation for Blake and Ryan to seek a quiet settlement, but pride and the fear of appearing guilty could stand in the way.
I think ultimately all you need is a good PR firm and a few thousand bot accounts.
For those who once admired this power couple, the entire situation feels like a rude awakening. It's unnerving to see how easily public perception can flip once receipts start leaking. Many fans still hope for a simpler explanation. Maybe this was just a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control. Yet, the consistent theme in the rumors, the selective presentation of facts, the hush-hush attempts to gain leverage, paints a more troubling portrait. If Blake really believed she was unjustly treated on set, then her strategy of releasing incomplete messages has backfired catastrophically. It's impossible to say how this melodrama will end. Perhaps a judge will dismiss all claims, leaving the public as the final arbiter. Or maybe the courts will find enough substance to impose heavy penalties on one side. The situation feels less like a straightforward legal dispute and more like a chessboard where each side is making moves with the press, social media, and backroom negotiations. The bigger question is whether these tactics will pay off or lead to a fall from grace, reminiscent of other celebrities who found themselves humbled by their own orchestrations. In a place where reputations can crumble in the blink of an eye, some believe Blake and Ryan's best chance might be to retreat from the spotlight temporarily. Ironically, they've built careers on charm and relatability, traits that are now overshadowed by talk of manipulation. Even if they choose a lower profile, Piers Morgan and other commentators aren't likely to let this go quietly. The promise of more receipts, more drama, and bigger lawsuits is too enticing for the media machine to ignore. The risk is that every denial or new twist only pushes them deeper into a corner. They're now entwined in a narrative involving inflated egos, possible bribery, and massive sums of money at stake. No matter how it plays out, one reality stands clear: their glitzy veneer has cracked. People have seen the leaked conversations and glimpsed a possible darker side to their relentless pursuit of creative and personal power. If there's genuine wrongdoing, the courts will eventually confirm it. But even if they escape any formal repercussions, the stain on their image may linger, reminding everyone that even the most adored stars can stumble. And sometimes it's the fans who suffer the greatest disillusionment when illusions shatter. Ultimately, this isn't just a story of big egos and bigger bank accounts. It's a lesson in how tenuous fame can be. One moment you're on top of the world, and the next, every text and email you've ever sent might be dissected to see if it reveals a pattern of deceit. Whether they manage to dodge a career-crippling blow or end up in an even messier showdown, people will continue tuning in, enthralled by the spectacle of a Hollywood powerhouse couple apparently unraveling before our eyes. In the end, the truth often emerges, and when it does, no amount of star power can protect those who sought to bend reality in their favor.